hand because I won't let go, 'cause I believe in you.
What you'll notice almost everywhere these days is a convenient shopper who's really a bit of a foodie and increasingly health conscious. And it's that appetite for high quality food and coffee on the go that really creates the opportunity in today's markets for retailers to not only survive but thrive. And in order to do that, they've got to be offering a whole lot more. I'm Dan Munford and welcome again to Dublin in Ireland. Convenience retail has really professionalised here in Ireland. In fact, really that's a bit of an understatement. The Irish have almost decided they want to become world champions in this area, and you know, to be honest, they are. The standard of products and services is quite incredible, and it's no surprise that BWG Foods and its SPAR brand is one of those leading the way.
SPAR is in Ireland since 1963. That's when the very first store opened here, actually in Dublin. So it's a brand that has grown significantly over the years and is continuing to grow.
What's new? Because you're looking at the shopper again, aren't you? And you're rethinking a few things.
Well, I think one of the things in SPAR that we're really good at is continually innovating, continually looking at what the shopper needs, what their new requirements are, and in fact trying to anticipate what they are, so that you can look at what they might need based on what they're telling you, based on what research you're doing, based on what they're actually doing in the stores as well.
What's changed in terms of the sort of clever thinking and marketing?
We've had a lot more data to look at. Given the advance of all the technology now that's in the stores, you can get really great insight into what's going on in the stores. And that's where we decided to start this time, was to look at what are shoppers doing when they come into SPAR stores.
Based upon how customers are seen to be shopping the store, SPAR has neatly established 4 store profiles: lifestyle, market, my usual, and everyday needs. Let's just focus on lifestyle because we're here today in your Millennium Walkway store, and there's a great deal of international interest in this store. You've had all kinds of SPAR groups from different countries come and visit. What's exciting them?
I think what's exciting them is that it is very different than anything that went before. And there's a great quote from one of the visitors came and said, "This is very different, but it's very SPAR." So, you can see that the SPAR DNA is here. Our DNA of food service, of really good branded coffee, all of that is here. But it's a very different store. It really does service the needs of the lifestyle customer that's coming in here, the way it's set up.
And what salads would you like?
We worked very closely with the SPAR International team in putting this store together. And this, in fact, is not just a flagship store for SPAR Ireland, but a flagship store for SPAR globally. And indeed, lots of those visitors that you mentioned, we've had visitors from the Middle East, from Russia, from Europe as well, all looking to take the learnings from this and the design elements from this and roll it out in their stores. So that's a great advantage that we have in SPAR, to be able to work locally, but work globally at the same time. It's not like a traditional convenience store or a traditional grocery store. Because in a lifestyle store, the dominant use by the shopper is food service and impulse products. They're the 2 dominant uses that we have defined a lifestyle store by. So when you come in here, you see the coffee. It's right inside the door. You also see the food service. The deli I mentioned is right inside the door as well. All of those food service elements are very much in your face, right at the front of the store, and are very prominent in the store. Then the other areas which are also important, the off-license area, the grocery area, the ATM, they're located back towards the back of the store. Very important to the overall mix of the business here, but not as important as the food, coffee and impulse areas.
With improved insight into how shoppers behave and what they want, SPAR is creating an ever more relevant and wanted offer. And here at SPAR's Millennium Walkway store, they're ticking all the right boxes with this exciting lifestyle store.
It's about the experience. It's about coming into a store that feels very different, that feels very comfortable, that effectively is a really nice place to go and shop, a really nice place to go for lunch, for breakfast, for a cup of coffee and a chat with your friends. And you can see from the seated area here as well how comfortable it is, really good Wi-Fi, lots of connectivity with USB sockets and so on. So it's very much about that experience. And I think you'll agree in this store here, we've certainly moved that experiential dial along the way.
SPAR has always been pretty innovative, so it's good to see plenty of new products and fresh speciality offerings. The deli, for instance, the engine of the SPAR food service business, is now branded SPAR Deli and sits alongside a mixture of in-house brands and the concessions Subway and the all-new Food Junction, 6th Avenue Street Food Bar and Pizza Project.
Now, enjoy. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye now.
What we've done differently here, we've really gone into the detail of the time of day offering across the deli. So very much different offerings at breakfast, at lunch, and on up into the evening time. We've got a very vibrant cold food offer with the pre-made sandwiches, lots of different options there for shoppers. The hot food as well, from a hot Irish breakfast right through.
And you're cooking that in front of the customers.
Cooking that in front of the customers as well.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and you could get an omelette, which is a nice healthy breakfast to start the day as well. So all of that very much in front of the customer there, so that people see that it's fresh, see that it's healthy as well. In terms of the store design, we've got this raft feature, which is an oak feature, but it's all about, our tagline for SPAR here in Ireland is under the tree at SPAR. So we're bringing you all these food offers under the tree. So hence literally the wooden structure is like a branch-like structure that goes over, covers all these food offers and brings them back to you under the tree at SPAR. We've brought in, you'll see, subtle cues around the red and the green of the SPAR branding, red legs on the tables in the coffee area. We've got some green tiles subtly brought into the mix as well, and very much that use of natural oak and wood finishes.
Now, when it comes to technology, this kind of store really depends upon it. Digital POS and electronic shelf-edge labels. It's not only cool communication to the customer, it's also eco-friendly.
A lot of the technology is what the shopper doesn't see. So you see that, as you say, as retailers, we see the technology, we see our electronic shelf-edge labels, which are the latest digital technology. It's actually electronic paper. It's not an LED screen like the old-fashioned ones were. It's electronic paper, e-paper, really, really good and very clear for the shopper to see the pricing, which is obviously very important in terms of that communication. The other area we've looked at is all of the menu boards are all digital. We've got digital screens in the windows to communicate both price and promotional offers, but also the various food offers and other services that are in store. So we've gone completely paperless here in terms of that aspect of the business.
And looking towards the future, Declan, has this store been a success? And how many of these can you roll out in the Irish market, for instance?
When you do a flagship store like this, some things work, some things don't work. So you've got to continually review that. That's why you do this type of store, and then you begin to roll out the various components that work really, really well. In the Dublin market, in the Irish market here, there's probably potential for us to have about 60 lifestyle stores. And some of those will be on forecourts, some of them will be standalone, like SPAR Millennium Walkway here. We think that's probably the potential of this particular profile.
It's good to see how SPAR is maximising the potential here in Ireland. They've been around for over 50 years and they're one of the largest convenience players in this market. And with this new consumer insight, they're not only working harder, they're working smarter. This is Dan Munford for Retail Vision in Ireland.